Welcome back to the Unc and Neff podcast. Today's episode will not feature Unc. Unfortunately, he was not able to make it due to personal reasons, but the show shall go on and the show must go on. So, before we dive into this Lions preview, I wanted to touch on real quick the Eagles game. I know there's a lot of Cowboy fans that were upset. As you should be, we want to win divisional games. But there's a lot to take away from that game that you should hang your hat on. We went on the road. We lost by 6 to the hottest team in the NFL, the only undefeated team in the NFL, and the Philadelphia Eagles, in a hostile environment. Without your starting quarterback. So there was a lot of things that I liked in that game, and there was a lot of things that I didn't like in that game. One of them being that it took us a little while to get committed to the running game. Kellen Moore, he's gotta find consistency with running the football, especially establishing it early on in football games, because that's ultimately hurting us when he ain't establishing a running game. So, for him to come out, and I believe it was our first drive, he threw it on first down, and it was 2nd and 2, and he threw it 2 more times. Like, you gotta run the football there, Kellen. Like, we gotta get first downs. Like, help your quarterback. Like, that hurts us. In these football games when we play good teams. And I said it last week in the show. If we get behind in games with Rush at quarterback, it's going to show. And it showed this last game that, he's not capable of, leading a comeback. Granted, we came back a little bit, but that he fell short. Like, he threw 3 interceptions in the process of it, and you're just not going to win football games that way. And that's just the truth of the matter. On another note, they got to come back to Dallas Christmas Eve. So, Philly, we will be ruining y'all's Christmas. Y'all going to get a rude awakening Christmas Eve. And, down here deep in the heart of Texas, we're going to have a Merry Christmas. I just want y'all to know that, if any Philly fans happen to run across this. But let's get into this Lions game. I got a lot to unpack with these Lions. Let's open up with Dallas Cowboys versus Detroit Lions. The 1-4 Lions are coming to Arlington. Cowboys are at 4-2. Vegas has us as a 7-point favorite right now. Last week we opened up the week as a 7-point underdog. The over/under for this game for my bettors out there is 49. I'm gonna get into my final score predictions after this. That's gonna be a close one if you're gonna take the over or under. That's a 50-50 call there, but nonetheless, I want to get into the Lions and talk about what they bring in this matchup. The Lions offensively are averaging 28 points per game, which ranks number 3 in the NFL. So they bring a good offensive attack. So that's something that our defense they're gonna have to play their A game, because the Lions don't have issues scoring points. Now on the flip side, their defense is ranked 32nd. They give up 34 points a game. They're at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to, defensively, they just can't stop a nosebleed. But the Cowboys, on the other hand, we average 18 points per game, which ranks number 20, which is 23rd in the National Football League. And defensively, we average 16 points a game, which is number 3. So, just based off that right there, something's got to give. I like the way our defense is playing. I'm gonna get into that more as the show goes along, but I like what we're bringing. But the Lions, I don't know if you guys know or not, but they're coming off a bye week. Don't look at the record. I know they're 1-4, But these guys do a lot of good things offensively, as I just stated. I mean, they're ranked number 3 in the league in points per game. Uh, they they run the football well. This team right here, they're gonna be hard to stop. They're led by DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. These are some big, powerful backs. I mean, these guys, they bring the hammer. You know, on the flip side, on our end, our Achilles heel defensively has been, can the Cowboys stop the run? Obviously, last week we needed a stop, and we couldn't stop the Eagles, and they went on to score, which, came out to be the game-winning drive, and they ran the ball straight down our throat, and we just couldn't stop it. So, that's something that kind of worries me is, are the Lions going to commit to the running game? Can they commit 4 quarters to the running game and say, you know what, Dallas, we're going to bring y'all and drag y'all into the mud. We're going to make this a nasty physical game. We're going to play time of possession. We're going to keep y'all's offense off the field. And if the Lions can do that, they can make this a close game. Now, the Lions are the Lions, and they lose games. They find ways to lose games. But if you don't have to play in a close game, you don't want to be playing in close football games. But a few guys that I've seen doing my homework with this Lions football team offensively is their wide receiver. He plays pretty well. Amon St. Brown, either or. He can play in the slot. He can play on the outside. He moves all over the football field. This guy's young, talented, drafted out of USC. So, I mean, the guy has a lot of talent. He's coming off injury. So is DeAndre Swift. And those guys actually, they practice. They were full participants today in practice. So they're going to play. They're going to play in this game. Now, this team right here, they're a scrappy football team. I know the record, might not show it, but these guys they played fairly tough week 1. I mean, they might have fell short, but they put up 35 on that Philly defense. So that, Philly's got a stout defense. So for them to put up 35, that says a little bit about their offense. Now, they also turned around and played the Vikings tough. They fell short to them 28-24. Vikings are another tough team. Vikings are 5-1. They played the Seahawks tough 48-45. They scored 45 points. Anytime you can score 45 in the National Football League, I don't care who you do it against, it's tough to score touchdowns in this league. Now, they did get blanketed by the Patriots 2 weeks ago before this bye week. They lost 29-0. So that leads into my next point. Build a lead. If the Cowboys can come out and establish a lead against this team, you're going to make Jared Goff play. Jared Goff he's loosey-goosey with the football. He'll drop snaps sometimes. I mean, he's going to throw you the ball. He's just a clumsy quarterback, in my opinion, especially when you have to make him play in the game. So that's something you want to keep your eye out is, can we stop the Detroit Lions run game? That's gonna be a telling tale of what this final score is gonna be. Moving on to their defense. They're led by Aiden Hutchinson, the overall number 2 pick out of Michigan. And they have solid linebackers. Malcolm Rodriguez, an Oklahoma State Pokey. And Alex Henlake. This guy's name it's Hanzalone. Alex Hanzalone, a Florida Gator, for my SEC people out there. These linebackers right here, they run to the football. They attack the ball. They're real aggressive. These guys can tackle. So can we get our run game going against them? I personally think we can. Now, they got a good corner in their secondary. His name's Jeff Okudah. He can play both sides. I mean, he's possibly going to follow CeeDee Lamb around. So that leads me to believe that this is a Michael Gallup game. Can Michael Gallup come out and play his game? You got Dak coming back, as you've seen in the opening segment. Can can these guys find a rhythm with their starting quarterback? You know that's really what it comes down to. Um, it's all on us right now. We got our starter back. The offensive line is playing well. I mean, the Cowboys right now, in my opinion, they're primed for a run. You got Dak healthy. He practiced yesterday, and he was a full participant today in practice. And I'll go over that practice report with you guys since I'm on it. Um, let's see here. Okay, Quentin Bohanna, our defensive tackle, was a full participant. Neville Gallimore participated. Devin Harper was a full participant. CD Lamb was limited yesterday in practice with the hip, and then he was a full participant today. Jason Peters was full as well both days. Dak Prescott, the main one we're all looking at, Dak has been a full go in practice Wednesday, Thursday. He came out in his post practice interview today and said he's a go, that he's starting. He's not gonna wear no brace around his thumb. The thumb is good. The bone is healed. Dak Prescott is coming back. It's return of the Dak. He has traditionally played well against the Lions, so this is a great thing to get your starting quarterback back into the swing of things against a Detroit Lions team that isn't very good defensively. You can't ask for a better confidence builder as far as it goes returning to back to action. Now, Detroit, I want to point out that Amon-Ra St. Brown, he was a full participant. He's back. DeAndre Swift was limited both days, but he's pointing in the direction of playing on Sunday. DJ Shark, he will not play Sunday. He did not participate Wednesday, and he did not today, and he was seen in a walking boot. So he will not be playing. Josh Reynolds did not participate, and it's looking like he will not be playing. So they're going to be down two starting receivers this Sunday. Now, another one I want to point out is their center was limited. He's battling a foot injury, sorry. But he's trending in the direction of playing. So those are the main guys I wanted to point out as far as Lions players go. But that leads me to, my next things here that I got, which is the Cowboys offense and, getting into what we can expect offensively from the Dallas Cowboys this Sunday. Now, I want to point out, week one, Dak played terrible. The offensive line didn't play its best game. I mean, there was a lot of things that just didn't go our way. You played a stout Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. And, the main thing is Dak just did not play a good game. But nonetheless, the offensive line is playing very well now. I mean, both of our tackles, who would have thought Tyler Smith, the rookie, would be playing as well as he's played? He hasn't really been an issue this season. Terrence Steele, I mean, this guy's out there. I'm going to say it right now. If Terrence Steele keeps playing the way he's playing right now, he's going to earn a Pro Bowl trip. Connor McGovern coming back from the ankle injury, the high ankle sprain he suffered week one. He's playing well. I mean, I think that he's probably won the job over Peters. I know we talked about that a couple weeks, but I'd have to say that Connor McGovern, he's holding the fort down there, and the offensive line is starting to come together. It's starting to gel. I mean, this team right here, getting your starting quarterback back is, I mean, he's walking into a good situation. I don't see a reason why Dak shouldn't come out here and put up numbers. And now I've heard Cowboy fans say, well, what if Dak doesn't play well? If Dak don't play well, we got an issue on our hands. That's just the bottom line. The holding calls, we're not seeing them as much from this team. And that's a great thing, especially getting Dak back. If we can get in short yardage situations and start converting third downs, that's going to play a major role, the rest of the season. That's one of my keys to this game is third down conversion rates. Can we convert third downs? I want y'all to listen to this stat here. With Cooper Rush at quarterback, the Dallas Cowboys were ranked 30th in the National Football League at third down conversions when passing. On the flip side, when we run the ball on third down, we are fourth in the NFL as far as a run success rate on third down conversions. Now that leads me to overall, we're ranked 26th in the National Football League overall on third down conversions. That's not good. We need to be around 10 to 7. If when Dak comes back this Sunday, if he can start converting third downs, that's what you want to see. Look out for the third down conversion rates. We need a high percentage of converting third downs. That's an absolute must. I'm going to say it right now. That is my key to the game. Look out for third down conversion rates with your starting quarterback back. Also leads me to what our game plan should be. What I think our game plan should be is, I know we got Dak back, but we don't need to come out just airing the ball out. As I said earlier, Kellen Moore's got to establish a run. We have a good running game. Our offensive line is pushing guys off the line of scrimmage. Hell, we bullied the Philadelphia Eagles when we decided to commit to the run game. So why get away from things like that? The Lions are 32nd in rush yards per game. 32nd, guys. If you can't run against the Lions, we know this team can run well. Why wouldn't you run against this Lions team, break them apart, get them to stack the box, and then, as I pointed out to Gallup earlier, then you can start throwing to Gallup, getting CD involved. We got more help coming around the corner. James Washington that we acquired from Pittsburgh in free agency, he is coming back and rehabbing from his injury, which, by the way, he said in a post-practice interview that Dak is throwing the ball well. He's got a lot of pop on the ball. So I don't think the thumb is going to be an injury. An issue. So I know a lot of people are looking at the thumb, but I personally do not want to hold his thumb as any excuse. You heard it here from me first. The thumb is not an issue. If you're playing on that field Sunday, you're healthy. I don't want to hear about your thumb. So that's the last thing I want to hear. Now also, before I get into this pick'em, I wanted to point out the rest of my keys. Key number 1, Dallas Cowboys offensively third down conversion rate. Key number 2, defensively, can we stop the run? The Lions are a great running team. If we can come out here and bully them at the line of scrimmage and stop and shut their run game down, that's what you want to see from this defense. A great bounce back, stopping the run. And then my key number 3 is Dak Prescott throwing on the run. I want to see Dak get out the pocket and throw the ball. And I want to see this offense, when we get in these third down situations, I would like to see some calls where Dak is getting out the pocket, get his legs involved in this game, get him back in the flow of the game, and build from that. So I would say keep an eye out on those 3 things that I just shot off to y'all. Those are my keys to the game. Third down conversion rate, Dak moving well out the pocket with his legs, throwing on the run, doing what he does best, and stopping the run on the other end. If we do all these things, I see no reason why this game shouldn't be close at all. So let's get to the pick'em here. Okay, now by the time this video is uploaded, I'm sure this Thursday night game may be over, but if it's not, for what it's worth, I got Arizona winning tonight, which leads next into Sunday, Atlanta at Cincinnati. I'm going to take Cincinnati. Atlanta's playing good ball, but Cincy at home, I think they'll take this one. Detroit at Dallas, I'm going to save that for last. Indianapolis at Tennessee. Tennessee's coming off of a bye week. I got the Titans there. Green Bay at Washington. I got Green Bay bouncing back. I just don't see Washington beating them. Tampa Bay at Carolina. I'm going to take Tampa there. Carolina is not any good this year. New York Giants at Jacksonville. I am going to go Jacksonville here. I think Jacksonville's getting better, and I think the Giants are going to finally have that come down to earth game that we're used to seeing from the Giants, where they just don't look great at all. They've been doing a good job of, playing hard-nosed football, keeping the mistakes down. But I think Daniel Jones makes mistakes on the road in Jacksonville, and I think the New York Giants lose. Cleveland at Baltimore. I got the Ravens winning that game. Cleveland just doesn't have an answer at quarterback right now. New York Jets at Denver. As y'all know, as I said earlier, the Jets are actually one of my favorite teams to watch outside of the Dallas Cowboys. I got the New York Jets winning that game. Houston Texans at Las Vegas Raiders. I got the Raiders winning that. I'm not a fan of either or. Seattle at LA Chargers. I got Seattle winning that. I got Geno going down there and beating the Chargers. The Chargers are just an inconsistent football team to me. I don't see them winning that game. And yes, Seattle's playing on the road, but LA just has a poor home attendance when it comes to their fans coming out and supporting them. Kansas City at San Francisco. That's going to be a good game, but too much Patrick Mahomes, not enough offense from the 49ers and Jimmy G. Kansas City. Pittsburgh at Miami. It's the return of Tua. Give me Tua and the Dolphins. I got them beating Pittsburgh. Monday Night Football, Chicago at New England. It's always tough to win on the road in Foxborough. Give me New England. Okay, leads me to our game. Cowboys, Lions. I got the Dallas Cowboys winning 31-17. I think that they're going to establish the run game early, and I think you're going to see the third down conversion rates. You're going to see what I was talking about. We're going to start moving and driving down the field. I think we're going to score a lot of touchdowns, and I think Dak is going to have a big game Sunday, and I got the Cowboys winning by a score of 31-17. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Uncle Neff Show. We will be back next week for our game against Chicago to break down that, give you a preview of that, and nonetheless, it's the return of the Dak. Going down, Arlington, Texas, Cowboys Lions. We're going to do what we do best. We're going to smoke that line pack. Go Cowboys, and I'll see y'all next week.